Hello, friends. My name is Marina Shestakova, and I am a doctor. And what do I want to talk to you about today? If you were told during an ultrasound you have fatty liver disease and you don't fully understand what that means or what to do next, remember that you are not alone. This is a very common situation, and today we will go through what this condition is, why it occurs, and most importantly, how you can manage it in a simple and clear way. Fatty liver disease is not a sentence, but rather a call to action to preserve your health. Let's imagine our liver as the largest filter and biochemical laboratory in our body, and normally it contains almost no fat. Fatty liver disease, or in other words, non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, is how the diagnosis is often written in medical records. This is a condition where liver cells start accumulating excess fat, where, I repeat, it shouldn't be. Imagine a sponge, the kind we use to wash dishes, that has been completely soaked in oil. That is, it becomes filled with oil and stops functioning properly. The same thing happens with the liver. The key question is, where does the fat in the liver come from? The most interesting thing is that most often, it's not from fatty foods in the literal sense of the word. The main cause is insulin resistance and, if present, diabetes. This is when our cells stop responding to the hormone insulin, and the excess sugar in the blood doesn't go into the cell to produce energy, but instead starts turning into fat, which then accumulates in the liver cells. The main triggers of fat in the liver. First and foremost, what insulin resistance and diabetes actually lead to is an excess of simple carbohydrates, sugar, pastries, sweet drinks, and all the sweets in the diet. What else? Excess weight by itself, especially around the abdomen. That's the beer belly, a bundle of stress, and so on. This is what's called abdominal obesity in medical terms. What else? A sedentary lifestyle, which leads to excess weight and other issues. And much more rarely, the cause can be rapid weight loss and certain medications. But the main, most important cause of fatty liver disease is an excess of flour-based foods, sweets, sweet fruits, dried fruits, honey, sugary drinks, pastries, pasta, all of these, in other words, simple carbohydrates in your diet. The insidious thing about fatty liver disease is that it often progresses for years without any symptoms. You don't feel it. The liver doesn't hurt because there are no pain receptors in the liver. But how can you suspect it? There are warning signs. These include constant fatigue, decreased energy, a feeling of heaviness or discomfort in the right upper abdomen, especially after eating. But not sharp pains, rather a dull, pulling, bloated, uncomfortable sensation. Sometimes there may also be digestive disturbances, especially when fatty liver disease is combined with bile stasis. By the way, I have excellent videos about bile stasis. So how can fatty liver disease be detected? How can you tell if you have it or not? An abdominal ultrasound is the main method that can detect fatty infiltration, or the saturation of liver cells with fat. What else? Biochemical blood test? What do we look at there? Liver transaminases, AST and ALT tests, gamma GT, and alkaline phosphatase. By the way, with fatty hepatosis, these can be elevated or they can be normal, even if you have that very liver obesity. So here we still do and look at the ultrasound. And most importantly, don't ignore this diagnosis, because first, hepatosis can progress. And second, you need to understand that it doesn't just develop on its own. And this is a worrying sign, an indication that something is going wrong in your body, and you need to look into it. And in order not to worsen fatty hepatosis and to prevent other health problems that may occur alongside it, because there is always an underlying cause for fatty hepatosis. I've already talked about them, but there's good news. The liver is an amazing, unique organ that is capable of regenerating, like a phoenix. In other words, the liver regenerates and recovers remarkably well, and fatty hepatosis is reversible in its early stages. That means we can restore a healthy liver, we can remove the fat from it, and we can recover the function of hepatocytes, the liver cells. The cornerstone of treatment is not medication, but lifestyle changes. Unfortunately, not everyone likes this, but it is the foundation of treatment. The first thing is nutrition. Not a diet, but a balanced diet. We reduce sugar, simple carbohydrates, processed foods, and increase vegetables, fruits, proteins, and healthy fats. For example, nuts, avocados, fish, and olive oil. The second point is movement, regular physical activity, walking, swimming, exercise, whatever you prefer. At the very least, take the stairs instead of the elevator. Walk to a farther bus stop or go to a store that's farther away instead of buying from the shop in your building. Move as much as possible wherever you can. And third is supporting the liver. Here, special substances come to our aid, hepatoprotectors, meaning protection and restoration of the liver, the recovery of liver function. They help protect liver cells and create the best possible conditions for them to recover. The diagnosis of fatty hepatosis is not uncommon, and as a doctor, I am often asked, "Doctor, what exactly can be taken to support the liver in cases of hepatosis? How can it be treated?" and so on. Indeed, alongside changes in diet and lifestyle, proper support can provide a very good effect. Once again, diet, lifestyle, hepatoprotectors. I have been dealing with this issue for many years, and based on evidence-based medicine and my own clinical experience, I have developed a regimen, a combination of certain supplements, dietary supplements, and hepatoprotectors that truly work for fatty hepatosis. This regimen includes substances with proven effects that help. So what do they actually do? First, they protect the membranes of liver cells from damage, that is, from destruction. Second, they speed up the removal of fat from the liver. Third, they reduce inflammation in the liver itself. And if you're interested in this topic, if you or your loved ones have fatty liver disease, if it's relevant to you, then I've left a list of specific supplements and a regimen for taking them in the description below this video. Take a look. It could be your first step toward liver recovery. Well, to be more precise, your third step: nutrition, physical activity, and supplements. So remember the most important thing. Fatty liver disease is reversible. The liver regenerates. It can, let's say, slim down, and the foundation of treatment is nutrition and movement. Not exhausting diets, not 10,000 steps, but change. Reducing simple carbohydrates, increasing fiber, and at least moving more than you do now. Plus, proper liver support speeds up its recovery. Don't be afraid of this diagnosis. See it as a signal that your body is asking for help. Start small. Check out the plan in the description. Study it and take this step for your health. If you still have questions, please ask them in the comments. I will be happy to answer them. And to all of you who watched me, I wish you good health.